Hi everybody and welcome to video 5. So hopefully you can now see the amazing effect that rose tinted living can have on your life. However, as we all know, not every situation in life is positive. Sometimes we need to feel the negative emotions that arise to tell us to kind of help us know that we're going in the right direction. They're almost like a navigation system, aren't they? So no emotion is a bad emotion. They don't feel nice, but they're not a bad emotion because they're there to say, this doesn't feel nice, something's going wrong, we need to sort this out one way or another. Negative emotions are there to tell us that something needs our attention and something needs fixing. Once you've identified and you've analysed the issue, you then can make a clear decision about how to move forwards after that. You can either put on your rose tinted glasses and make the best of the situation, or you can make a decision to get out of the situation and change things. If, for example, you're in a job that makes you really, really unhappy, and you're constantly looking for the good and saying it's all positive, it's all wonderful, everything's fine, you probably just remain in that job forever. And maybe that job's not for you. Maybe you've outgrown that job, your skills are better at another job, you can help more people in a different job. So that's when it's kind of toxic positivity and not helpful positivity, when you're just going, everything's fine, everything's fine. So this process is really to help you know when it's toxic positivity and when it's helpful positivity that's getting you in the right direction. Sometimes we have to make changes in life and sometimes we have to change our situations, as that's how we grow and develop as people. When I first came up with the idea of rose tinted living, I thought, this is brilliant. This is me. I can definitely make a business out of this. I can help a lot of people. I was really buzzing because it's me. I'm a positive thinker. I'm a happy person. But there was something really niggling at me. I was thinking, but do I want to get everybody really positive and really happy all the time? Because I myself can be a bit of a toxic positive thinker. I can kind of go, everything's fine, everything's wonderful, when it isn't. So that's what got me really, really thinking about systems, and that's when I came up with this system called the 3 specs process. I called it that because obviously it's glasses. It's a bit like the 3 steps process, but the 3 specs process. So I think this is really good. I think it's really useful. It has been for me anyway. It's been really, really useful. So you'll know you need to use the 3 specs process if you're feeling really heavy with negative emotions, or negative emotions that keep coming back. We often just have little bits of niggly negative emotions throughout the day, don't we? That you can just turn around quickly. But sometimes it keeps coming back and it feels quite heavy, and it's like a bit of a warning saying, listen to me. That's when you know you'll need to use this process. This is the diagram. So what I'm going to do is print it out. You might not be able to see it very well there, but I'm going to print it out and add it onto all my social medias, so you'll be able to download it and use it whenever you need to. It's based on looking at life through, and our emotions through, the 3 lenses. The grey lenses, so the first stage is looking at life through grey tinted lenses. That's the feeling stage. And I've broken each one down into 3 as well. The second one is clear lenses, and that's the analytical phase. The third one is your rose tinted lenses, and that's the positive action phase. When you put your rose tinted glasses back on at the end, you're ready to take some positive action and to move forward. So I thought I'd go through each one individually, just to tell you a little bit more about it. If you want to do this with me, you can do. If you've got any issues or any thoughts go around your head or anything you're feeling not so great about, feel free to do this while I'm going through the video and have a go. The process is to basically help you get from A to B. So A is where you don't want to be, B is where you want to be, where everything's wonderful and you're really happy and everything's coming together to make life brilliant. So it might be worth also getting a pen and paper, because it can really help in the beginning. When you've been doing it for a while, you can just do it in your head. But in the beginning, I think you probably need a pen and paper to do it. So feel free to go and get one if you do want to do it now, or you can watch this video and then sit and do it later on by yourself. I've written 3 prompts for each one to help you break it down. So we're going to go through each one. We're going to start with the grey tinted lenses, and tinted, and I have got my glasses, and yes, I look very silly, but it really does help to have the glasses to go through. I just got these off Amazon. Got the pink ones from Amazon as well, but it does help. It does really help. So these have actually got little lightning bolts coming down, so they really are grey clouds. So I'm in my grey tinted phase now. So this is a feeling, and I've broken it down into thoughts, emotions, and summary of situation. So first off, what you need to do is sit down and write down all the negative thoughts that are whizzing around your head at the minute. There could be all sorts, and you just sometimes don't know because they just whiz round. You don't even know it's happening. Look at these. But yeah, you need, once you kind of sit and almost watch your thoughts, you can see what you've been thinking, what's been going round and round in your head, and write it down. Could be thoughts about yourself, like I'm not good enough. Could be thoughts about another person, this other person's driving you mad. Or it could be thoughts about a situation that you're not happy with. So write them all down. Then we're going to go on to the next step, which is emotions. Again, sit down and take some time out to really feel the emotions that are happening in your body at the minute. What are you feeling? It might be just think, I'm just feeling angry. I'm just not feeling very happy. Write that down. But when you sit and think about it, it's amazing how many other emotions there that just kind of come up when you feel them. It could be you're also feeling frustrated, you might be feeling bored, you might be feeling overwhelmed, you might be feeling guilty. There's all kinds of emotions there. So sit and take a bit of time to feel them. This is the feeling stage, the great intent. So feel those emotions and write them all down. When you start to do this, you might, because we're going on to the next stage now, which is a summary of your situation. So what you need to do now, you've got your thoughts, you've got your emotions, what's your situation at the minute? If you had to write it in one sentence, what is the summary of your situation? When you sat down to do this, you might not have even had a situation in your head. You might have just been feeling bad and not even known what it is. Hopefully by looking at your thoughts and your emotions, you'll be able to pinpoint it and think, yeah, this is my situation, this is what is wrong. If not, that's absolutely fine. Just write down the feeling still. So your situation might just be, I'm really angry and I don't know why. And that's fine. But some of the concrete examples of your situation could be, I'm a bad mum. I hate my job. I don't like the way I look. I don't like where I live. I'm not happy with my money situation, or my partner is always annoying me. They're just some examples that could have popped up. But you'll have an example of a situation there, or a feeling that you don't really know why it's there. So now it's time to move on to the next stage. You've done that, you've written it all down. Now you move on to the clear lens stage. So I can put my glasses back on where I can actually see. So these are clear. This is analytical. So you're looking at the situation exactly as it is. I've written it down again. I've broken it down to 3. So what you actually do in the analytical phase is go back to what you've written down here and work on it. So thoughts, are they true? Emotions, what are they trying to tell you? And situation, make a decision. So first off, thoughts, are they true? Look down to all the thoughts that you had whizzing around in your head that you've written down in phase 1 when you had your grey tinted glasses on. Take each one in turn. Is this thought really true, or is it your mind or your ego playing tricks on you? For example, you might have written down, I hate the way I look. Do you really hate the way you look? If you sort of sit and look at yourself, is it really that every single thing about the way you look you absolutely hate? Or is there anything about the way you look that you actually like? Has this come from you? Or has this come from something somebody said to you maybe years ago? Or has this come from society, from looking at women in magazines looking all airbrushed and perfect when they don't really? Where has it actually come from? Really imagine you're a scientist. So you sat there looking at a situation, completely analytical, clear lenses, so you're seeing the situation as it is. You're objectively analysing all these thoughts that are whizzing around in your head to see if they're useful to you or not. Secondly, we've gone to the emotions. What are they trying to tell us? So again, go through each emotion individually. As we said before, feelings are useful because they're trying to tell you something. So you're going to go through each one now, analytically, keeping the feeling out and working it out. So again, to give an example, your situation could be, I hate my job. So some of the emotions you may have written down could be frustration, sadness, jealousy, boredom. There's lots of emotions that may have popped up there in your head. So now we're going to sit and go through each one. Are these helpful? Are they helpful at all? So some of the things we've written down, bear with me. Frustration. So say frustration was the first thing you wrote down there. Why are you frustrated? Is it because you want out of your job? Or is it just one niggly thing about your job that drives you mad but could actually be fixable? Why are you frustrated at the minute? Analyse that frustration. Sadness. It could be sad going into work every day and that's all you know. But when you start to dig a bit deeper, is there more to it? Are you maybe sad because maybe you don't have much confidence, or maybe you think you're not very good at your job and you worry all the time about it, or maybe you've got imposter syndrome? Is there more to that sadness? Boredom. Do you feel bored at work? because you want out and you just want out of your job? Or do you need to be more creative with the way you work, and as the more you can do, you can maybe ask for a promotion or ask to do a new task or something like that at work that will make it more interesting for you? Jealousy, as your friend has a more exciting job than you. Jealousy can be a really useful emotion, because obviously if somebody has something and we feel bad about it, it could be we feel that way because we want that thing. So it's always worth looking at jealousy and analysing it. Analyse the situation with your friend. Does she really love her job as much as she says she does, or is it a front covering up the fact she doesn't really like her job that much herself? What is it about her job that's better than your job? Can you see yourself even doing her job? Once you've analysed objectively every thought and every emotion, then it's time to make a decision. This is the most important part of the whole process, because it's where we take back control. You're going to make a decision now about how you're going to move forwards. Look at everything you've written down, and all that will really help you to make your decision. Most importantly, I think, listen to your instincts, because your instincts know, your higher self knows what's right for you. So try and listen to your instincts. One tip for decision making to help you listen to your instincts is to flip a coin. So flip it up in the air, catch it, put it down. Nice heads for me. But what you'll feel when it kind of goes down one way or the other, you look at it, you'll feel, just for a split second, you'll feel an emotion. And the emotion will either be relief or disappointment. You will feel something and it'll just be there like a little burst, and then it'll go again. And I think that's your higher self. I think that's your instincts. I think that's your true self saying, this is what I want. So watch for that emotion you get when you flip your coin. That's a really good way to make a decision, because it tells you really how you really feel about it, because you feel either disappointment or relief. And you'll feel it straight away. Don't wait till your thoughts have then come on, started thinking and putting you off your instincts. Don't wait for that. Just literally look how you feel that second. That's a really, really helpful exercise to do. So make a decision, and most importantly, stick to your decision. There's nothing worse than going back and forth over a decision. It's really draining. It really unbalances you. It wastes a lot of energy. It's a horrible feeling not to know what you're going to do next. So make a decision and trust yourself that you've made the right decision. In the future, you might find out it's not the right decision, so you might go back and do something different. But you have to trust yourself you've made the right decision going forwards from this. Some examples of the decisions you might make in this stage are: you decide to leave a job, or you decide to stay in the job you've got and work on making it better physically within the job, or work on reframing your thoughts about the job. It might be that you decide to lose some weight to feel healthier, or you can decide to stick with the body that you've got, learn to love yourself the way you are and not bow down to the pressures of society to look a certain way. You decide to make a plan, maybe to buy a bigger and a better house. So you're going to make a financial plan of how you're going to do that. Or you make a decision to stay where you are. You actually could be really happy here. Maybe there's just a few tweaks you need to do on the house, or some things you need to do to make the house feel more like home. I can't stress how important this decision is, and how important it is that you stick to it. Because this is where we take control, and we need to know when we put our rose tinted glasses back on, that wonderful positive energy is flowing in the right direction. So step 3, this is where I look really stupid. This is the rose tinted phase. It is lovely actually seeing the world through these rose tinted glasses. Everything does look really nice and pink and happy. I'm going to wear these all the time, I think. So rose tinted, positive action. This is where we take some positive action. Again, I've broken it down into 3 stages. Get determined, write a list of next steps, and take positive action. So first off, get determined. You've made your decision, you're sticking with your decision, you know you're going to change your life for the better from this decision, so stick to it. It may have even been in this last stage you realise it's actually out of your control. There was no decision because you can't change the situation. So the only thing you can do is put your rose tinted glasses on and make the best of the situation. Now we want those beautiful, positive, wonderful, excited emotions coming through, like love, excitement, hope for the future, trust, relief that you can now get out of this situation and start to make yourself feel better. You're going to do something about your thoughts and the way you feel, so get really determined now and make sure you do take those positive actions. Secondly, break it down, write a list of next steps, then you know exactly what you need to do to move forwards. It might even be in this situation that you've not actually tapped down a physical thing. So it might still be, for example, I feel anxious. I feel really anxious and I just don't know why I feel anxious. So it could just be anxiety, and you don't know where that's come from. That can happen. So your list then of next steps could look like going to visit the GP to discuss this and discuss maybe some medication or some counselling. It could be to read some self-help books about anxiety. It could be chat to somebody that you know and love. It could be that you're going to get some exercise, more exercise to get the endorphins flowing. It could be that you're going to eat healthier, practicing self-care, so reading more, having more baths, spending more time on yourself. So it won't cure the issue, obviously, straight away, but you will feel better because you know you've taken control now. You've taken control of that issue and you're going to do something about it. So very finally, take inspired and positive action. Work through the list and do the things that you need to do. Life is too short to put up with the things that don't make you happy. So get these rose tinted glasses on, maybe some more normal rose tinted glasses. Get excited, hopeful about the future, and take back that control. So that's that. I think this is really useful. It is for me anyway, so I hope it's going to be useful for you. And like I say, we're doing a lot more work on it. I feel really silly because I can see myself in this video in these glasses. I wish I got some sensible ones, but never mind. We're going to be doing a lot more work on this in my group and on my social media. So you will get help with it. But print this out and then it's there. Watch the video back if you need to. But yes, if you're feeling very negative and you don't know how to move forwards, go through this process and it will really, really help you to gain back control. So that's that. We're going to move on to the next video next, which is video 6. And I think we're going to be talking about some tips on how to live a rose-tinted life. So I hope that was useful for you. Any questions, just ask, because I know it can be quite complicated, but it's a lot easier to go through the process when you have it printed out in front of you. Okay, thank you for listening. Sorry for looking silly. Chat to you soon. Bye.